Welcome back. So let's keep it going. You know, the declaration of emergency rule in Rivers State about a month ago by President Bola Tinubu was going to trigger an interminable debate, which has sharply divided opinion in the country. The Forum of Former Labour Leaders in Rivers State has called on President Tinubu to reconsider the declaration and recall Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy, Professor Ngozi Odu, in addition to the assembly members. The group that goes by the name Simplified Queens underlined that, while accusing the National Assembly of complicity, points to enduring peace of Rivers State as key to prosperity. Wale, do you agree?
Well, I think what matters to us now is to see how peace returns to Rivers State.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not just peace as an abstract term. It has to be peace based on justice.
Not peace of the graveyard.
Of the graveyard. Mm. And I think what we should ask ourselves, for me, I don't support suspension of democratic institutions. But if the people in power feel that retaining democratic institutions can lead to chaos, can lead to death, because those who are talking about emergency rule have failed to look at the fact that maybe if the governor had not been removed and we had led the two parties, maybe by now places will have been bombed, 5 people dead, 10 people dead. So to prevent human lives, any step that you can take, even though it may not be...
You mean to protect?
To protect, to protect deaths. To protect deaths, to prevent deaths. The government needs to take certain actions.
Yeah.
Especially when the main actor happens to be the governor. I mean, one of the main actors, unlike in Rivers State and all that, the people causing the insecurity are non-state actors. So that's the difference. So I think what we should ask ourselves is that conditions for peaceful, harmonious coexistence, are those conditions there now?
Okay.
Have we seen a situation where Fubara and the lawmakers have called a joint press conference? Have we seen a visit from Wike to Fubara or from Fubara to Wike? Have we seen a meeting of the lawmakers, the 27 lawmakers and the 4 lawmakers speaking out to say, look, we are ready to work together?
Yeah.
So if you are not careful, it may be sweet, it may be politically correct to say, okay, let's bring back. But that means we are going back to status quo. A situation where eventually it might lead to the removal of the governor, and which I think will be worse for Fubara. Because if you go back now, then 27 lawmakers remove him. So it's in his own best interest to use this window to reach out, to have constructive engagement to all the parties. I'm not sure he's doing that, except to have demonstrations and all that, which does not address the major issues.
Yeah, Kayode, I'm sure Wale knows this, that on Friday, the FCT minister gave a media chat in which he said the idea was to remove Sim Fubara.
Yeah.
This emergency rule was not part of the gambit. That he is still going to. But I want us to reconcile what the retired labor leader are saying to the fact that, can you, please, let's go there. 300 million naira was a largesse from the embattled governor to the NBA, Nigerian Bar Association. The sole administrator.
I just get it to do. That's a normal thing that happens.
The sole administrator.
You don't just host for nothing.
Okay. The sole administrator is asking for a refund. So it's a cross between a gift and a morality question. The question is, if a sole administrator is provoked in Rivers State as we see it, does he have the right to look at the books? I don't know.
You see, I like to say this on record. Irrespective of the millions, the popular side, what they are saying about the rule of emergency, my take may be very, very indifferent to what they have said. My take is, I feel those people who are calling for return of Fubara, who are saying Fubara shouldn't have been removed, they are concerned not those people who are taking side now. I mean those who are genuinely saying, don't touch the democratic order. Their concern is they don't want to play any game with the military. They don't want anything to suggest that military is an option.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with them. However, there was tension. Whether people want to deceive themselves or not, they should go and ask people who are in that state.
Sorry, I'm sure you have heard of cynics who insist that sending a retired military man there is, and I'll tell them, when former President Obasanjo did in Plateau, there was General Chris Ali.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And General Oluri retired.
That's why I said that I totally agree with the fear that we don't want to smell military, because technically we are not just retiring the military, we are no longer having former generals as our president, and you know, there's no more Buhari, there's no more Basojo.
So the khaki is not popular anymore.
Basically, I love that, you know. But when you hear that magistrate who retired and say, oh, because of quasi military rule, it might suggest some of the fears of those people. However, my take is, if those threats were real, people were releasing videos that let President Tinubu try it, let Wike try it, let this one try it. In a country where we have state actors, I do not agree with them that the president should keep quiet. I do not agree with them that what the president has done, even though Wike said it, and I want to believe that Wike was not playing politics by saying he wanted Fubara removed, but the president said, no, let's go this
apply
way.
The brakes,
Exactly, let's go this way, because PDP is going to say, oh, they've taken away one PDP governor, they've left APC states where there are issues. They will come up with all kinds of permutations and arguments. So I believe strongly that they should do the right thing. Sit down, call yourself together, be remorseful. Whatever political rhetorics, I don't even think a lot of people have a say in this matter, because they were not there when Wike chose this man above some other people who were interested. This is a family affair. They should allow them and come back to that family table. All these people who are blowing, you know, threatening us with all those things, could they have made it happen without this, you know, this family? So I want to believe that they must sit down. They must come together. Otherwise, the lawmakers are losing seriously. They didn't collect salary for 17 months or thereabout. Now, it is getting to 18 months, getting to 19 months. And you know what that means to a politician? And these lawmakers is not one. We are talking about 27.
Wale, so it's not, a cynic said, do you know now those would say organo grill? Now then they either the ones organo grill for them.
Yes, that is why a good leader must be able to think beyond the mentality of his advisors or advisors. If you are being given advice from a multiplicity of sources, you should be able to sieve the grain from the chaff to know that, look, this is in my own best interest. Let us look at it politically. Fubara will find it very, let's assume a situation where the best happens to him, he completes 4 years. Will he have a second term? If he's going to have it, to be 90% difficult unless he reconciles with those that he's fighting with. Let us also imagine, sometimes people do good things to think it's a very bad thing. This emergency, in my own analysis, is a first saving grace for Fubara. Because if he had remained, they would have removed him. The speaker would have become the governor of the state. And the man who said something may have happened, and there will be waste of lives. So, and you see, you are also, governing over a state where, there is plurality of ethnicity. There are a lot of ethnic groups there, about 7 or 8. So you are not elected for one particular ethnic group. You need to balance all the interests of all the other Ogoni, Indoni, Ikwere, Andoni. So you are not just for one ethnic group. So you cannot just be asking your people to fight as if you are representing. So I think you should look for a wise way to meet this the other people and then reconcile these grievances.
A viewer, Paul Anderson, is reaching us from Oyo, Akwa Ibom State. Paul, I greet you. Hello, Paul, are you there? Better luck next time.
So if I have to be
in the Rivers situation,
yeah,
you cannot afford to be politically correct.
Sure. So you cannot afford
because it is said in an emergency, you first act before you think.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying the president does not think.
Yeah.
He has acted. Meanwhile, a lot of thinking is going on.
Sure.
You know, rethinking
and I'm sure
so
he
on.
even thought of the consequences of allowing the situation to
Yeah.
continue, where the House of Assembly was bombed, where people's homes were bombed. So you can't continue.
In
so
a country
you need to
governs.
you need to create a kind of a stopgap, you know, so that people can
because
go back to the
look
boardroom.
at the picture, Kayode, a governor who felt comfortable with just 4 members of the 32-man,
House of Assembly.
you know, how far was he going to go?
You see, I think, like I said, we are not here to dance to the popular tune.
Yeah.
We're here to look at what will stand for posterity.
Oh, yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
president has taken a step. I am fully with him. I'm not a Riverian, but I'm fully with him. However, these former Labour leaders are saying, reconsider your way. But the template they have given, I do not agree with them. They should talk to the political gladiators to reconsider their ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It may not be up to 6 months before this thing is rescinded.
Kayode and my people, you will get to know them. My people say, when you talk to the kite, you talk to the mother hen.
Sure.
Because the mother hen must chop fowl. Speak to the mother hen to keep the...
I always enjoy your profile.
No. It's a two-way street.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there's no conflict without resolution. You know?
We wish River State, we wish you a happy Easter, but let's go home and do some more thinking, soul searching. All right, to our next story.